Hello guys and welcome to Vlogging Project. It's Tony here and welcome to another episode of Phone Stories. Today I have a rather weird device which is very unpopular, well, actually was very unpopular here in Europe. However, in America was an absolute blast. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the T-Mobile Sidekick 2, released in 2004. That was the second iteration of the T-Mobile Sidekick series, manufactured by Sharp. They have 5 or 6 phones. Most of them, I think, that they use an independent manufacturer for the first one in 2002, and they use Motorola in 2008, something like that. But the rest of the models were manufactured by Sharp. Now, in terms of the Sharp build quality, it is not exactly that, because when you think about Sharp from back in the day, you think about phones like this, the GX25 and GX30 and a bunch of other phones. And let me tell you that this phone has absolutely nothing to do with the usual Sharp quality over here. However, it's very well built and it has a few key features. Now that thing runs Danger OS, which was essentially somewhere, let's say, not exactly a smartphone, but it had his own operating system. You could download applications, it had his own email servers, pretty much. So let's say a little bit of extra protection. And what differentiates this phone from all other phones back in the day was the screen, which is a little bit hard to activate like that. But there you go, it's spring-loaded, guys, and you have a full QWERTY keyboard over here. Now, in terms of screen, 2.4 inches, I think was quite a huge screen back in the day. The resolution, I'm really not sure, but it wasn't very high. However, the screen still looks alright to this day. Now I'm gonna have to check my notes to let you know what exactly screen they use, because they use some weird technology, which let me just double check quickly what exactly have they done. So yeah, trans reflective liquid crystal display, which pretty much means that the screen doesn't rely on backlight when it's switched off. So for example, that's a super early version of the always on display, let's put it this way, and even on direct bright sunlight you can still see what's going on. For example, now it's not on, but check this out. You can kind of see what's happening. It reminds me of the Nintendo screens back in the day on the Game Boy, stuff like that. And in other areas, it had 16 megabytes of RAM, memory card, and megabytes of RAM, of course, megabytes of storage. RAM, I have absolutely no idea. I can imagine kilobytes. But yeah, I mean, rather limited hardware, and not very impressive VGA camera at the back. It's kind of cool that it looks like check this out. I mean, the flash over here looks like a proper photo camera flash. You've got one speaker over here plus another speaker built in the speaker, well, not the speaker but the directional button over here, which is also a colorful LED light as well. So for this second iteration, they definitely improved on the design a little bit. Now press this and this one. I don't know why exactly this weird button combination, but anyway, you have the scroll button over here on the right hand side, guys. And let's have a look. Multimedia messaging, address book, calendar, to-do list, notes, camera. Interesting things, and definitely a very cool animations, because back in the day, guys, remember 2004, we are talking about the very ugly Windows mobile smartphones, which were for proper nerds, at least over here in Europe. And you have the Nokia Symbian propositions, which costed an arm and leg pretty much. If you're in Eastern Europe, you have to buy a stolen one, otherwise you have absolutely no chance of using one of these phones. Of course, that was the preferred choice back in the day, but again, extremely expensive, guys. So I'm gonna pause the video over here and I'll ask you, because I really don't know, in the US, please tell me what this phone mean to you compared to the other dumb phones available back in the day. Did you use the QWERTY keyboard? Is that the reason that you had this phone? why was this phone so popular? Because I can definitely see, the big screen, the QWERTY keyboard, but overall, in Europe, we would say that's a brick phone, because back in the day, phones were trying to be as small as possible, and this phone is not even trying. I mean, it's an absolute piece over here. It's a proper brick. So what was the deal with this phone? Because I'm trying to understand, and also the desirability of these phones are high. I had a few over the years, and they always sell for more than what I thought I would get. This particular one is in mint condition. I sold it for quite a lot of money, which I didn't expect, to be honest with you. So definitely, if you are after a mint condition unit, well, you have to pay a good buck for it. Over here you have a 2.5 millimeter, not the regular 3.5, but the 2.5 millimeter headphone jack over here. Behind this flap, we've got, check this out guys, mini USB port. However, that's for computer connection only, and over here is the charging point. Now when I was looking for a charger for this phone, I couldn't find anything over here in Europe. So what I did was let me find it. Where is it? Right, so that's my Nokia 7610. There we go. I took his charger and kaboom, there you go. The only disadvantage is that the phone doesn't really tell you when the battery is fully charged, but after a few hours it will be fully charged. So that is a compromise solution, but a solution nevertheless. Also, it's quite a heavy piece over here. This rubber usually doesn't really hold up that well in time. Guys, let me see what's happening with my camera. Yeah, you've got the rubber buttons over here. Maybe I should shoot with that particular pattern. But anyway, what else do we have? Let's make this phone focus somehow. Let me touch the focus manually, guys. Oh, there we go. So we've got the power button on the side over here, the volume buttons. On this side we've got yet another button and another. These are some sort of shoulder buttons over here, guys. Let me switch off the the autofocus. Okay, switch on actually. So yeah, you've got shoulder buttons over here. If they only had incorporated some sort of proper gaming, that would have been kind of nice to have the shoulder buttons. And these buttons to me particularly doesn't mean absolutely anything, but obviously there's the back button over here. This is the menu button, for example. But let me see, let me unlock this one. Okay, so we have to hold those two. Right, so the navigational button over here, this one is for some additional settings. This one goes back to phone, and this one is probably an exit button or something like that. Also, the menu is rather untraditional over here. Well, untraditional, not traditional, I would say. But yeah, and the only thing, I mean, come on guys, that movement of the screen, I really don't like it. Although I do like the rubberized keyboard. Check this out guys, this keyboard is so nice. We've got the magnets over here on the side, and the only thing which says over here, check this out guys, made in Japan by Sharp, and pretty much that's it. Also, this is a GSM device, which means that it has the card slot. Most of them are locked by T-Mobile. However, this unit is unlocked, and if you have an unlocked unit, do not factory reset it, because for whatever reason it factory locks back to T-Mobile, and of course if you live outside the US you can't really unlock it back. So that's that's a major drawback, and it takes away from the appeal of this phone, and of course the price goes down. But check this out, these buttons really light up rather nicely over here, guys. The call and release button, I'm really not sure why it doesn't have auto rotate. It would have been nice if you can just use it like that as a normal phone, one interface, and then use it like that two-handed, because now it's a little bit awkward to use the phone with one hand, although the back button is over here. But anyways, that was the T-Mobile Sidekick 2, also known as the Telstra Hip Top. In Australia it was just rebranded. So yeah guys, if you want to see more interesting phones on my channel, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much.